information provided by...
Stay ahead of your moderate to severe eczema and show off clearer skin and less itch with Dupixent, the #1 prescribed biologic by dermatologists and allergists that helps heal your skin from within. Serious allergic reactions can occur that can be severe. Tell your doctor about new or worsening eye problems such as eye pain or vision changes, including blurred vision, joint aches and pain, or a parasitic infection. Don't change or stop asthma medicines without talking to your doctor. Ask your eczema specialist about Dupixent.
It's her life.
Tomorrow on ET, Erica Jane spills more Housewives reunion tea.
Can I give you some Justin Timberlake tea?
Oh, yeah.
He clearly loves his wife, Jessica Biel. Look at him showing...
Happening now.
We want to know how a teenager arrested yesterday made it into this building of the Bexar County Jail with a gun, allowing him to take his own life. Today, we talk to SAPD, whose officers do bear some responsibility in situations like this. We'll show you the policy.
Super Tuesday is tomorrow, but the Supreme Court giving Donald Trump a victory today. Coming up as we take a look at tomorrow's primaries, does Nikki Haley have a chance to win any of those states? We'll talk about it next.
Getting even warmer and more spring-like then, a cool front pays us a visit and changes things up. We'll talk about the up and down temperatures along with the storm chances along that front in just a bit. News at 5 starts right now.
How did he get into the jail with a gun? First at 5, San Antonio police now responding after a suspect they arrested made his way into a secure area of the jail with a gun and took his own life. Today, we learned Bexar County deputies missed that gun themselves during an initial pat-down.
But the sheriff says the gun should have never made it into the jail in the first place. Courtney Friedman tells us what police had to say today and if they followed protocol.
We've told you the facts. 19-year-old Jesus Gonzalez was arrested Sunday on a felony domestic violence charge. He made it into the jail with a concealed gun, pulled it during a strip search, and shot himself. Now we're answering the big question. How did he get a gun into the jail? The answer begins with SAPD. Department policy reads transporting officers are held accountable for any prisoner arriving at a detention facility or processing room with a weapon, dangerous object, or contraband on his person, meaning the transporting officer is supposed to search a suspect for weapons or drugs before taking them to jail. Bexar County Sheriff Javier Salazar made the same point Sunday.
Absolutely, that without a doubt, that gun should have been found at some point before the point that it was found.
We asked for an interview with SAPD. Instead, we received a press release and police report, which said the officer did search Gonzalez. We know now they clearly missed the gun hidden in his shorts, which we're told were underneath baggy pants. Today, we also confirmed that suspects are patted down upon arrival at the Bexar County Jail. But the gun was not found until Gonzalez was strip searched. That's when the sheriff says he pulled a gun from his shorts and turned it on himself. A scary concept for the public and the sheriff.
It's a secure facility. I mean, literally nobody is armed, not even us.
No BCSO deputies are facing any discipline. Salazar did tell us the deputy who witnessed the suicide is on administrative duty per mental health protocol.
I did ask SAPD if any officers involved will be facing disciplinary action. All they were able to tell me is that SAPD is conducting an internal investigation alongside a homicide investigation, which is separate. Reporting from the Bexar County Jail, Courtney Friedman, KSAT 12 News.
New at 5, after days of searching, the rescue turned into the recovery of a body. The body of 80-year-old Antonio Martinez Zambrano, found in Calaveras Lake. Search party divers say that they located Zambrano just after 11 o'clock this morning in about 25 feet where he was first entered the water yesterday. Now, as you can imagine, his family is devastated. One family member joining the searchers on the Marine unit as they went out to search the lake this morning. The Bexar County Sheriff says Zambrano was with his family on a fishing boat. He threw out a casting net that had several weights on it, but a rope was attached to the net, was wrapped around Zambrano's wrist. He then threw it out over the water and fell into the lake. The sheriff says it appears now that Zambrano became entangled in that net. He says, unfortunately, this is a solemn reminder going into spring break and the summertime that people need to wear life vests when they're on the water.
He's accused of a horrible crime, and a tentative jury selection date has been set in the death penalty case of a man accused of brutally attacking his ex-wife and 2 young daughters. October 11th, the date jury selection could begin for the trial of Stephen Clare. Clare, in April last year, allegedly shot his ex-wife several times, then stabbed his 2 daughters, killing the youngest, 11-month-old Willow. His ex-wife, Mariah Gardner, was actually in the courtroom. She survived the attack, and she was visibly emotional during today's hearing. A few weeks ago, the state announced they would be seeking the death penalty in this case. A jury selection in a death penalty case usually takes 3 to 8 weeks to complete. Once that jury is seated, a trial date will then be scheduled.
Around Texas, just 4 days after a federal judge in Texas blocked the controversial SB 4 law from going into effect, a federal appeals court is holding up that ruling for 7 days. It's to give the federal government time to seek an opinion from the Supreme Court. That law would allow Texas law enforcement agents to arrest and detain people they suspect of entering the country illegally. Last week, that federal judge in Texas blocked SB 4 from taking effect. The Attorney General's office immediately, though, appealing the decision. And then over the weekend, the 5th U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals in New Orleans granted the state of Texas an emergency stay. It went into effect, allowing SB 4 to go into effect. According to the Texas Tribune, the appeals court says that it has ordered this appeal to be expedited and argued immediately. The online news magazine says that if the Supreme Court does not intervene, the new law could go into effect on Saturday this week as the legal battle continues.
It is the eve of the biggest day of the primary season for the 2024 election. And it comes with a major ruling from the Supreme Court. Former President Donald Trump will be allowed to stay on the Colorado ballot, and maybe eventually others, still pending.
It was a unanimous decision with nationwide implications as more than a dozen states and 1 territory all set to vote tomorrow. Julia Benbrook is tracking all of the latest developments in the primaries, where there's a lot at stake for Super Tuesday. Julia.
That's right. There's no doubt that Super Tuesday is an important day at the polls. While former President Donald Trump has secured decisive wins in early voting states, a large portion of the country will have their voices heard tomorrow, including here in California, where there's some early voting taking place behind me, of course, in Texas, and then in Colorado, the state directly impacted by that Supreme Court ruling. On the eve of Super Tuesday, the Supreme Court ruled that former President Donald Trump should remain on the ballot in Colorado. The decision follows months of debate over whether the Republican frontrunner violated the insurrectionist clause included in the 14th Amendment.
It was a very important decision. We're very well crafted, and I think it will go a long way toward bringing our country together, which our country needs.
The court was unanimous on the idea that Trump could not be unilaterally removed from the state's ballot, a massive win for the former president. The decision comes as his last major primary opponent, Nikki Haley, who vowed to stay in the race at least through Super Tuesday, faces a make-or-break moment.
We do have a country to save. So this is where you get to work. We need to make sure we go out in force on Tuesday.
Haley secured her first primary win this week in Washington, D.C. But some GOP strategists say Tuesday's race could be the final contest in her 2024 run.
There's just no path forward for Nikki Haley. She's a former governor. She had foreign policy chops. She had all of the resume and the presentation that should have done well, but she didn't.
More than 1/3 of the total delegates in both the Democratic and Republican presidential primaries are up for grabs on Tuesday. Here in California, a GOP rule change, a recent one, promises that all 169 of the state's delegates to a single Republican candidate, if they're able to secure more than 50% of the primary vote. Reporting live in Beverly Hills, Julia Benbrook, KSAT 12 News.
Julia, let's go back to the Supreme Court ruling now. You mentioned the court was unanimous on the idea that Trump could not be unilaterally removed from the ballot, but the justices divided on how broadly that decision would go. Step us through the key takeaways from that ruling.
Right, and there's a lot to unpack here, but a 5-4 majority said that no state could dump a federal candidate off of any ballot. But four justices asserted that the court should have limited its opinion. It's also important to note what they did not decide on, and that is whether or not the former president participated in an insurrection on January 6, 2021. They did not take that on directly. And this is a big win for the Trump campaign. He'll remain on the Colorado ballot, but it's only one of the many legal issues that he's facing right now. And those are completely separate. This doesn't impact any of those 4 criminal cases in any way.
Julia, one more question for you. Nikki Haley, by the way, on that opinion from the Supreme Court, said that she wants Trump on the ballot in all of these primaries, that she would like to compete against him. And she also said further back in history that she would support the eventual GOP nominee. Now that she's been stepping up her criticism of Trump, is she expected to stick with that commitment?
And that commitment came as a prerequisite to joining those GOP debates. You had to sign a pledge that said that you were going to support the eventual GOP nominee. She did sign that pledge. But as you mentioned, in recent weeks, she has really been upping her criticism of the former president. And she was asked about this during a recent interview. They said, "Are you going to support Trump no matter what?" And she basically said that she would make that decision at the appropriate time. We don't know exactly what that means, but she is suggesting that she does not believe that she is bound by that pledge.
Very interesting. Julia Benbrick joining us live from California. Thank you, Julia.
Now, again, tomorrow is primary election day here in San Antonio and all across Texas. The polls open at 7 a.m. They close at 7 o'clock in the evening. We understand that you can speed up the process. You may want to look at what the ballot offers before you go to the polls. You can see this QR code on your screen. Just scan it, and it'll take you to the Election 2024 page, where we have a sample ballot you can look at right now. And we'll also have a list of all of the polling sites and addresses, along with election details that you might need tomorrow. You can get your election information. Just check it out on KSAT.com.
And just as the polls close, you can get your first look at how the election races are shaping up. We've got results. Join Myra Arthur and I for our Super Tuesday live stream. We've got early election results here in San Antonio and Bexar County and the surrounding areas, as well as across the country. We also have analysis and reactions. You can access the live stream on all of our KSAT media platforms, KSAT Plus, KSAT.com, and the KSAT YouTube channel. The live stream begins at 7 o'clock tomorrow night. Check out Transit Guide right now. We're going to go to I-35 and O'Connor, and you can see traffic moving along very smoothly on this Monday.
Starting to feel more spring-like again. 67 this morning. 81 was our high temperature today. Notice the record, 95. We have to get into the 90s to get into record territory this time of year. And we're going to be close to that tomorrow. We're going to be close to 90 degrees, so getting even warmer. 82 Eagle Pass, 81 right now. Daniel's Backyard in Kerrville. Leon Springs, 78, Floresville at 83. For the most part, we're right around 80, give or take a few degrees. You really don't feel that difference across our area. Fairly cloudy, a mild night, unseasonably warm, and really not much of a breeze out there. You'll notice the humidity at least through the night. That changes tomorrow, which will have an impact on our temperatures. We'll talk more about that and our next cold front and what kind of impact that'll have on our weekend coming right up.
Coming up next, stores hoping to help you tidy up with new sales and discounts. The products you can get a good deal on this month to spruce up your home inside and out.
Here's a look at what we're working on for the news at 6. The fallout continuing regarding conversations between a criminal justice reform group and the Bexar County District Attorney's Office. Today, a judge ordering those conversations to be turned over to the defense attorneys of a former SAPD officer who shot a teenager in 2022. We're going to take you inside the courtroom for that hearing.
San Antonio is growing, and a big part of that growth is our airport. There is more than $1.4 billion being invested into the airport. Max Massey's going to show us the rebrand that's going to transform the way the world is welcomed to the Alamo City. All that and more today on the news at 6. Spring is already in the air, and that means spring cleaning is on a lot of to-do lists, honey-do lists.
Yeah.
Well, good news for you. Retailers are marking down prices on some things to help you tackle the job.
Yeah, 12 on your side's Marilyn Moritz with a few of these month's deals that won't clean out your wallet.
Spring has almost sprung, so retailers are shifting their focus.
Retailers are shifting their focus to spring cleaning and outdoor activities as March rolls in. Shoppers can expect to see discounts on cleaning products, outdoor tools, and all the things they might need to do any home renovations.
Consumer Reports found some top tested products for this month's best time to buy. Think spring cleaning. This Shark cordless stick vac is on sale for $400 for a couple more days at Lowe's. That's $100 saved. Next, to fend off the spring sneezing, an air purifier can help with those allergies. The Blue Air Blue Pure 211i Max is $69 off at blueair.com. CR says it does a good job removing dust, smoke, and pollen. Now to the outside. You can tidy up the yard with a new string trimmer. CR recommends this Milwaukee string trimmer. We found it for $260 at Walmart.
The second week of March is Sleep Awareness Week. What that means for you as a shopper is you'll see lots of deals on things like mattresses, bedding, pillows, and sleep accessories like alarm clocks and sleep masks.
If you snooze, you lose. Already, the original Casper pillow is on sale for about $57 on Amazon. CR likes its breathability. And if you need a new mattress, too, the Denver Mattress Doctor's Choice Plush is on sale for $760 at Denver Mattress. That's for a queen size.
Some things to wait on: appliances like refrigerators and dishwashers. You'll typically see those deepest discounts around Memorial Day. That's when many of them will also be sales tax free. Marilyn Moritz, KSAT 12 News.
Take a look outside with live cam. Wow, got nice and warm today, but also nice and humid.
Yes, we're feeling the mugginess out there. That's going to change for a few days, and that's going to have an influence on our temperatures. And then when it returns, also have an influence on our rain chances down the line. Let's talk temperatures first. So get ready for another erratic week of temperatures, a bit of a roller coaster. We're going to be at the tip top of that roller coaster tomorrow, right up near 90 for the high. Then we drop down into the upper 70s Thursday and Friday. Then behind a cold front, we're near 70 for the high temperature Saturday and Sunday. So most of Saturday and Sunday in the afternoons will be spent in the 60s. So quite a contrast from near 90 degrees. There's actually a weak cold front to the north of us right now. Just moved through Amarillo. They're at 61. Nearby Guyman, Oklahoma at 60. Meanwhile, ahead of it, we've got 70s and 80s. This is not going to be making it here. It's going to push southward and stall and wash out and really not have an impact on our conditions. However, a shift in the wind will push in drier air, and that will have an impact. So you're seeing 70s to right near 80 at the moment. Castroville, Pleasanton at 80, Seguin, New Braunfels at 79. Tomorrow morning, we start the day, I think, in the mid-60s around San Antonio, a little bit cooler in outlying areas, even some mid to upper 50s in the hill country. We warm up, though, to 89 for the high temperature. This could be our first 90-degree day so far this year. Making it to 89. We may just hit 90 briefly tomorrow afternoon, and I think we will along the Rio Grande. Just get to about 90, 91. Castroville at 90 tomorrow. Elmendorf 89. New Braunfels 90 for the high. Timberwood Park 87. So here's one of the changes you'll also notice. We have that humidity in place right now. It's a bit sticky outside. It's not oppressive, but you notice some mugginess in the air. Watch our futurecast and how this changes with a westerly wind, a dry westerly wind that comes in tomorrow. By the afternoon, it's going to sweep away that humidity and give us that much drier air. And keep in mind, the drier air warms up a lot more efficiently and quickly than this humid air. That's one of the main reasons why we're going to be right around 90 degrees by tomorrow afternoon. Notice the dew point trend, a lack of mugginess Tuesday and Wednesday. It briefly returns on Thursday, and that's when we have our next chance of storms. We still could see one or two pop up out there this evening, but it's unlikely. Our atmosphere is just a little too capped. Most of the action was East Texas and then moving into Louisiana and parts of Missouri and even neighboring Mississippi. There's some energy in the upper level flow, but our next system is over the Pacific. That's going to throw some energy our way as we get into Thursday. Right now we have it at 40%. I think that may be a little aggressive, but there is that potential of some scattered activity popping up late Thursday Thursday night, lingering into Friday morning. Then even the morning temperatures fall off. We'll be in the 40s by Sunday morning after we lose an hour of sleep. We'll be in the 40s Sunday morning, then sunny and right near 70 in the afternoon. Coming up at 6, we're talking about the wildfires in the Panhandle.
All right. Thank you, Adam.
All right, UTSA. What a great day to start spring football.
Absolutely, and we got plenty of video showing the guys just jumping around, smiling, clapping. UTSA started spring ball today, and the guys are very excited about that. And it's also the 5th year under head coach Jeff Traylor. And in the NBA, the Spurs beat the Pacers to avenge a pretty bad beatdown Indy dropped on them earlier in the season. Coming up. That's the sound of spring football, UTSA, and the players are loving it in big board sports. It was an exciting morning for UTSA football with the start of spring camp. Players are jumping around, smiling, and just ready to go. Head coach Jeff Traylor is beginning his 5th season at UTSA, where he has an overall record of 39-14. Now, some of the faces have changed due to graduation in the transfer portal, but the guys say day one is solid.
Really good. We got a lot of new guys and a lot of people flying around, so it was a good day for the first practice.
The group looked great. The guys that's been here flying around, competing like always, having fun. The OGs that's part of the team giving into the new guys, the transfer portal guys, the freshmen that are practicing with us right now. So just instilling that culture and still flying around, having fun like we do as usual. So.
The Roadrunners will wrap up spring camp Saturday, April 13th with the spring game. UTSA alum Spencer Burford held a Q&A before the Spurs game last night at the Frost Bank Center. The second-year offensive lineman with the San Francisco 49ers met with his alma mater, the Wagner Thunderbirds, and Spencer is happy to give back.
I'm just getting back to doing what I know, just coming back, just making an impact as much as I possibly can, spreading the knowledge that I've gained throughout the time that I've been blessed, you know what I'm saying, just coming back and spreading the knowledge, really.
You know, some kids are going to look at this example, they're going to see themselves in Spencer, and maybe not necessarily going to NFL, but, it's going to provide them some hope.
And that's what it's all about, providing hope, and Spencer enjoys doing it. The San Antonio Spurs beat the Indiana Pacers 117-105 last night. Victor Wembanyama had 31 points and 12 rebounds. Now the Spurs avenged their 152-111 loss to the Pacers back in November. So what was the difference defensively for the Spurs this time around?
I remember it. It was our first back-to-back of the year. I feel like we weren't ready to match their speed. Probably fastest team in the league. We learn and we compete every game, but now we execute better. This is the difference.
Spurs will go for their first 3-game win streak this season when they play at the Houston Rockets tomorrow night.
Do it.
Let's go.
I'm ready.
Let's close out the season with a long win streak.
That would be awesome. Yeah, I'm all for that, Larry.
Right?
We'll be right back.
Countdown is on. 35 days until the total solar eclipse. Here's a fact for you. April 8th's eclipse will rank among the top 25% of eclipses, and that's in terms of the duration. It's going to be a good one. Parts of the hill country will have totality for 4 minutes or so.
That is so cool. Thanks so much for watching the News at 5 with us.
World News up next. See you back here at 6.